welcome back. This is Wendy Historian, and today we are talking about Home. Now, Home was a One Direction song written in 2015, and the reason Home became notorious is because that was the song that was leaked during the most chaotic 24 hours of the fandom that I talked about yesterday. Generally speaking, our fandom has always had the habit of leaking like a cheap diaper. We leaked songs all the time, from the legendary 2013 track Just Can't Let Her Go, to leaking not one, not two, but 3 full albums.
Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr.
To the drops of old demos that were just leaked this year. In early October of 2015, One Direction used Snapchat to officially drop the track list for their upcoming album Made in the AM.
Tracks 2, 3, and 4 are Drag Me Down, Perfect, and Infinity.
By the time the most chaotic day came around on October 20th, we already knew all of the songs that were going to be featured on the album. Or so we thought. After One Direction canceled the Belfast show, that same night they dropped the music video for Perfect with no warning whatsoever. And a lot of fans believe that this was done partly out of apology and partly damage control. They were sorry that they had to cancel the concert, here's a video, and they also wanted the fans' attention on something positive. But shortly after the video was released, some eagle-eyed fans noticed that on Spotify, the official One Direction Spotify channel had uploaded an EP. Not only with no warning, but this time with no attention. Like with the Perfect video, the official 1D account had mentioned, hey, the video's up, Louis had tweeted out a link to the video, but as for this EP, nobody mentioned, like, the EP is up on Spotify. Nobody even mentioned that the EP existed. On Spotify, the EP had basically what fans usually expected from a 1D single EP, which was the single itself, plus a couple of remixes and alternative versions of the song. But attached to this EP was a track called Home. Home felt wildly different from the One Direction songs before it, as sonically it was very stripped back, and lyrically it was intensely vulnerable and incredibly introspective. It was a power ballad with plaintive vocals and no small amount of falsetto. After Made in the AM was released, we could hear that a lot of the songs were experimental departures from One Direction's normal sound, but Home was the first we were hearing of something so standout from the discography. And Home was not one of the songs that we were given on Snapchat as part of the Made in the AM track list, so it wasn't a song that was going to be on the album. And after a couple of fans tweeted, oh man, there's a new song, all of a sudden the EP got pulled down from Spotify totally. The whole thing scrubbed, so it became clear that this EP had been released too early, seemingly by One Direction's own official team. What the heck was going on? A simple and most obvious explanation is that Home was a B-side, and B-sides were bonus tracks that you got when you bought a single. In fact, early in their career, One Direction used to put B-sides on their singles. But like, early in their career. Curiously, One Direction had not put a B-side on their single since I Should Have Kissed You on One Thing in January of 2012. Some fans found it undeniably suspicious that the first EP to have a B-side in years was also the EP that got leaked early. And of course, the immediate question then, and even now, is who leaked it and why? Because it leaked to 1D's official Spotify channel, which means someone with administrative access to the channel had to have put it up. But if it had been officially released, why take it down again? It is very possible that in the chaos of the day, wires got crossed and it had been put up early because the video had gone up early. While we still don't know exactly what happened that day, it's pretty obvious that behind the scenes there was just a mess. So it isn't unreasonable to think that in all of that mess, there was a miscommunication. On the other hand, one of the prevailing theories is that somebody took advantage of the chaos of that day to release a song that was never intended to be released. And this theory gained a lot of traction because of Louis' reaction to the leaking of the song. In general, artists tend to get very upset when new music leaks earlier than intended. And most of the time they ask their fans either not to listen until release day or else ignore the leak entirely and proceed business as usual. Louis' tweets took the unexpected third option. Only a few hours after the leak, Louis tweeted out a line of lyrics as well as a house emoji, after it had already been taken down from Spotify and it was obvious that we weren't supposed to hear it yet. Almost as if we were supposed to go scouring the internet for illicit ways to listen to this song. The tweets also removed the usual stigma around fans listening to leaked songs early, because why should we feel guilty if Louis' clearly not mad about it? Meanwhile, compare his reaction then to his reaction last year when his unreleased song Help got leaked. So while we can't be sure exactly who leaked it, it's definitely an inside job of some sort. Home pretty quickly became a fandom favorite song, partially because of the suspicion that Louis himself had leaked it. That notion was kind of exciting because it felt a little bit like, ooh, we're in on a conspiracy with one of the boys. But it also became a fandom favorite because at its core, this is a song about loving and being loved, and finding or making a place where you belong, which is something a lot of people can relate to. And after the hiatus began, the fandom started the Home Project, which was similar to the No Control Project in that we used fan art and promo challenges to fan release the song. And while it didn't quite reach the No Control Project's success, the Home Project was still successful in that Home managed to win the Teen Choice Award for Best Musical Single, even though it wasn't a single in 2016. And honestly, being reminded by the boys that we were loved and could make home anywhere we wanted to was exactly the message we needed to get through the hiatus. All 18 months of it.